lights will gradually come up here. Well, thank you each for staying through all that. I hope you found some things to resonate with or food for thought, but I'd like to invite anybody here from the cast or crew, if you'd like, all like to come stand up here for a sec. If you're brave enough, feel free to come do so now. All right, these are the people that made it work. So this is a film. Jessica's hiding in the crowd, but Jessica stepped in with 24 hours notice when my lead actress bailed out. So she's the MVP here. Martin, of course, plays Jimmy, did a wonderful job, very sad kind of role. Travis plays a dead homeless person, but helped a lot with the filming, chauffeuring me around. We've got the wonderful Brian Dovey, who plays Noah in the ice cream shop. Such a wonderful performance. Gabrielle, who plays the lady that receives the tampons from Instacart. Jessica, of course, and her father, played by Andy Stekovich, who's the crackpot pharmacist. And Deborah, who plays the kind homeless lady at the beginning, who then reaches out to me when I'm in a moment of despair during the film. So we have many more in the cast and crew, of course, who couldn't make it. Corey Landis, who plays Stroyer, did a wonderful job, shot all that his scenes in a day, and he's a really good actor, MVP as well. But yeah, I think I said all I want to say about it beforehand, but does anybody have any random questions in the audience? If not, I won't be offended, but anything for me or for anybody up here?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
How long did it take you to make the entire project?
Well, we filmed it in 7 days, and it was all filmed on an iPhone, as you saw, with very limited sound equipment, so it's kind of up and down. And then I edited it on and off, basically up until like 2 weeks ago. I would tweak little things, and my composer Brendan was working on music tracks that he'd send me, so that kind of took a bulk of the time. But yeah, we just shot it in 7 days in July, and then that was it, so it was very efficient. But anybody else have any burning questions? Dika, of course, he's not up here, but Dika helped me a lot with filming, and he's in the opening scene, one of my good friends here. So can't forget Dika. Anybody else? Yes?
What made you all interested into becoming a part of this film? Like, what could you into becoming part of it?
Anybody can chime in if you want, yeah? Want the microphone?
Hi. So I actually have a really interesting story about how I got into this film. I auditioned for a short film that Sam did prior to this, and he was telling me about this film that he had made, and he said that the lead character's name was Jessica. I was like, that's convenient. And then I went to audition for Jessica, and I got into a car accident on my way there, and I couldn't make it to the audition, and I didn't end up following through when he rescheduled the auditions. And so this story that I'd heard about, I kind of gave up on the hope of being a part of it. And then one random morning, I get a group text with a bunch of numbers I don't know, and it's Sam being like, the first person to respond will get this role. And I just woke up early enough, and I was sitting in the theater, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Like, I remember talking to Sam about this probably 2 years ago. We went and got dinner at one point, and we were talking about the process of making the film, and it was something that I wanted to be a part of, and then at some point something I didn't even think I was going to be able to be a part of, and at the end, here I am, and it was beautiful, and it was so incredible to watch, and it's just a triumph of an artist who has this desire to create, and I think it's a beautiful, beautiful film.
So I came across the project. My good friend Kate from Warner Brothers at the time, I reached out to, I was talking to her one day, and she goes, oh, I have a friend of mine who's going to be doing this like feature film at some point. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I went on Instagram, and I found Sam on there. And first thing I did when I was reading his poems, I thought, oh wow, this person is like, I like how he kind of taps into all these like human emotions deals. So when I ended up, I reached out to Sam, and prior to that, I was just like, oh, I know you're doing a film, read some of your poems, and from there on out, we did a cold read, I believe it was, I think it was through Skype or whatever at the time, so that was really cool. And Sam, as you can tell, is just a great person. He's just really kind, and he cares about people. So was telling Kate, I go, oh, wow, this guy's just really cool in general. I want to like work with him more, and I've been fortunate enough to work with Sam a lot more. So that's how I kind of found my way into Terrificman, was through Sam, and it's been really fun since, especially finding the parking on that last day of shooting.
Yes.
So yeah, that was really fun. So that's my quick story of Terrificman.
Thank you very much. And of course, I'm missing a few actors. We've got Gary and Patricia hiding in the back, and they played my parents in wonderful scenes. And of course, Gio, who plays a dead homeless guy, and then also helped film some. But yes, you have a question?
What made you come up with the idea of content?
Yeah, I guess the whole empathy. I mean, I've always loved cookie dough, as you can see. I probably lingered too long and me just binge eating that dough, but I really wanted to get the point across. But that's where that came from. But the empathy, I guess I've always seemed to get, like I say in the movie, I get people's life stories in like 30 seconds because I ask deep questions like, so what's the purpose of your life? And I kind of scare people away, so I tone that down. But I've had a lot of friends who struggled with mental health, suicidal thoughts, depression, and just constantly, I would seem to constantly meet these people with these things and like feeling that but not knowing what I could do. And actually, you know, when I was in college, there was this guy, this middle-aged guy, and he was kind of eccentric, and he was going to college even though we were all in our 20s, and he was like in his 50s. You know, it was a private Catholic school. There was a chapel, and I remember being in the chapel one time, and this guy was praying, and he said, please, God, help me. And he seemed despairing. Oh, he's just having a bad day. And a week later, we get an email from the principal or the president. He says, our student Howard is taking his own life on Valentine's Day. And I remember being haunted, like, wow, I was in that room, him despairing. I had no idea. And now he killed himself. And what if I had been able to help him? So I think that was at the back of my mind, too. And so I wanted to tell a story of empathy that had kind of the structure of Spider-Man, Superman, you know. That scene with the father is basically like in every superhero movie where the dad gives him advice and then he dies. So I needed to have that scene. But yeah, just basically my own struggle to empathize with people, but knowing that even when you care about people, you're not always able to help them, and that's just the way it is. So yeah, that's the core of it. All right, yes.
I just want to say all the acting was really great. I really loved all your performances. I felt for everyone. But do you guys have any like stories behind the scenes on, does anyone have anything that happened that was funny or that happened while you were making it?
I mean, I just remember we had this one lady, we were filming by UCLA, and she comes up, oh, you guys filming something? And I'm like, oh no, we don't have pyramids, let's not tell this lady. She's like, I want to make a movie. I got a script. I want to be a producer. And she's like really eccentric. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll give you my email. So we had a few people approach us. It was kind of funny. I don't know, anybody else have any stories?
Not the phone going off?
Oh, so Corey Landis, who plays Troy, is a very intense method actor. And we're doing a scene, he's doing this monologue about his daughter's dead. And then suddenly Travis, who didn't silence his phone, and it goes ding, and it rings. And Corey goes, whose phone is that? And he gets really intense, and Travis goes, oh, it's not me. And so Corey was very into it, and Travis had to duck and cover there. But, anybody else last minute? Any other thoughts, questions? All right. Well, thank you. Oh, yes.
I just have to say, I think you did a fantastic job. I think it was cast beautifully. It was so much fun, and thank you so much, Sam. It was beautiful.
Yes, thank you, all of you. It really means the world. You can check out all my short films on the YouTube. They're all mostly silent. But this one was just this is my first attempt at a feature. There'll be more technically proficient and all that. But I have at least 3 or 4 other feature scripts in the works. So once we get funding and all that, we'll have more projects. But I want to thank each of you from the bottom of my heart for being here, for supporting this, for being part of it. I care about each of you. You matter to me, like my shirt says. And yeah, go out, eat some cookie dough, and empathize with your fellow neighbors. Thank you very much. Yes?
I was supposed to play a different role, but things came up, and I ended up because of health, and I couldn't do it. But I just want to say, this guy is the epitome of empathy and kindness. Thank you. I wasn't, after I had to back out, he said, well, let's put you in. So I became the tampon lady. But I was originally going to be his wife, and we had met on another show. And but to my point, all of us are connected. And he's the helm of the ship, and you did a phenomenal job. This was a very touching film, and it's inspired me. I don't know if it inspired you. Thank you so much for having us, having me.
Well, that means the world. Well, one more time, give a hand for your wonderful actors here, stars of the show. And yeah, we'll head out. I'm going to go over to the alcove up the street, so anybody's welcome to join me there. It's just a few blocks down. But if not, thanks so much again. Have a terrific day, and we'll see you at the next film. So, thank you.